Who or what gives anyone the right to play God in someone else's life? What gives anyone the right, be they family, friends, associates, community, fraternities, religious groups and organizations, whatever they may be, sororities, who or what gives anyone the right to play God in someone else's life, attempt to control their destined path, and control the choices and decisions they make, and tell them what they should think and feel, how they should feel, and how they should, order their steps, and what is convenient to the people around them, the groups, the institutions? Who has the right to play God in somebody else's life, or to downplay them, silence them, hide them, keep them at a low vibration so those around them could feel more comfortable, can feel at ease, feel as if they are not being outshined or overlooked or being out talented in some type of way? And who in their right mind would allow themselves to wallow in confusion from those who are in silent competition or very blatant, bold, out loud competition with a family member or potential partner or someone that they are obsessing over? Who in their right mind would follow along with lies and confusion and allow themselves to stay stuck with a group, a person, or anyone that would spread lies and mistruths and go along and listening to a person who obviously has some type of imbalance? If there's confusion, why is there confusion? Why hasn't those who supposed to know better skipped beyond the confusion, moved beyond the confusion, went around the confusion and directly to source without making a lifetime of excuses and simply communicating directly? Why is everyone pretending and acting like communication wasn't learned in kindergarten, the beginning stages of it? When a boy liked a girl, he ripped off a piece of paper and say, "Do you like me? Yes, no, check the box." We learned in the beginner stages of communicating and moving past our fears and learning how to deal with rejection all the way in kindergarten, at least when I was growing up. And so, who in a right mind allows themselves to let a group of people, a group of narcissists, a group of envious, jealous, hateful, spiteful family members, friends, and associates with ulterior motives and hidden agendas to control their perspective and outlook with individuals who their heart is calling them to interact? Their heart is calling them to, they have a specific divine purpose or mission or something that the divine, something within them is saying, hey, I'm supposed to be working with that individual. I am supposed to be having some type of dealings on whatever level of business or romance or family or kinship or friendship or camaraderie. Why do you allow a barrier, a middle person, get in the way of what you know to be true? Why are a bunch of energies following behind energies that are unstable, confused, unsure? Make excuses and spread falsehoods just because they can, just because they have a hidden agenda, an ulterior motive, just because they are envious. If somebody is competing for a person, you can say, okay, that's cute. Everyone has the right to go after their heart's desires. But if somebody is competing to be a person, now you have to look at the question why. Why are you competing to be someone other than who you are? Cultivating your natural skills, gifts, and talents, and being okay with your flaws, and then working past whatever traumas and shortcomings you may have. If somebody is competing for a person and competing to be a person, does that not sound like some type of imbalance or mental instability? If somebody, because now You're at the stage where you understand in these days and times with these cults and covens that people will go as far as they possibly can to live in someone else's skin, and they will use all type of energetic manipulation, binding spells, love spells, death spells, poverty spells, sickness spells, in order to remove a person from their destined path out of jealousy, envy, hate, wanting to be them more than the person that is already themselves. That's a sickness, a disease, an imbalance. Now, who in their right mind would associate themselves, even if you got caught up with this person wearing a mask and being a great actor, a pretender, and pulling on your heartstrings and misappropriating and misusing their resources and institutions to get to you first, befriend you first, pull you in first, develop a relationship with you first, which is all a part of the mental instability, the competition, trying to win at all costs, the manipulation, the atrocious manipulation. Who in their right mind would allow a person to mislead them and misguide them intentionally? This is a part of what they do, trying to win at all costs in confusion, creating confusion in and around the community, and making sure that people are not able to think straight or see people. They'll go through great lengths to try to win at all costs. So they don't mind who they drag down with them. They don't mind who they drag to hell with them. If they're in competition for somebody else's destiny, that's an imbalance. That's a wicked nature. But if you know in your heart of hearts that the divine is calling you and your spirit team is calling you to interact with the earth angel, to interact and move beyond the state of confusion, listening to energies that connected with you in a way that was um, manipulative, right, to say the least. Intentionally scouted you, pulled you in so they can control the environment, control the situation, control the earth angels, push the earth angel to the background and show themselves, push themselves to the forefront. You have to see it for what it is, acknowledge it for what it is, stop playing games and making excuses. You ended up bonding with somebody and probably got caught up in making certain decisions that's keeping you stuck in a fantasy, in a farce. This is the reason why you, who know better, is finding it difficult to communicate and move past the BS. You trauma bonded with somebody that the two of you more than likely had something to trauma bond with or for. But if you know better, why are you stuck? Why are you not allowing yourself to see the entire situation for what it is? That person manipulated you, got in your head space, in your heart space, did the most atrocious manipulation, evil tactics, used the resources and institutions and organizations that they're connected to, fraternities, sororities. They scouted you, pulled you in, got you or tried to attempt to use you for your resources, steal your resources, love bomb you, impregnate you, trap you permanently into a bad contract or marriage. These are all the things that they tried to do to even you, and you're refusing to see it for what it is and remove yourself from the situation. In my right mind, or anyone in their right mind, if you find out the facts and see things from a higher perspective, that this is what the actual plan was, do you think that anybody in their right mind would wallow and stay stuck making excuses for these individuals and stay in that situation? Oh, these are straight devils who tried to set me up and pull on my heartstrings and wearing a mask and pretending and acting like a decent person, acting empathetic, acting like they have empathy. But these people are cold-hearted and cold-blooded on the inside. These people get in other people's way, attempting to block their destined path. These people try to remove people from their blessings, their divine persons, their spouses. These people are not nice people at all. These people are not um, in tune with the divine. These people are not following their heart and doing the right thing. These people are wearing them. These are your mimicker and your mockers. These are your narcissistic sociopaths. These are your dark cults and your covens in plain sight. Why is it so hard in these last days and times for you all to accept this? See it for what it is and truly accept it. Get over it. Accept it. This is the day and time we're in. These groups are surfacing and it look like regular normal people around you. They are all around you at the coffee shops, the conferences, the grocery stores, the laundromats. They belong to your local churches and community centers. They are part of law enforcement, medical professionals. They weaseled their way into these positions by day on the surface, and behind the veil, they belong to these sinister, corrupt organizations. Why are these people playing the game that they're playing insofar as all of this manipulation? Because they're trying to cover up crimes they already committed. They're trying to cover up fraud and things that they already stole. See it for what it is. Most likely you already know what it is. But maybe because you're caught up in it some kind of way, maybe not to the greatest extent that they are, but maybe because you're caught up in it, you refuse to get cut through the chase and get straight blatantly to the point. These devils, groups, persons, people in competition, trying to replace people, silence people, remove people, stop people from being seen by you because you will put two and two together. I belong over there. I'm on the wrong side. You would just come out and say it. You will run to your nearest mirror. I'm on the wrong side. I messed up. I rushed into a bad situation. I belong over there. The true talent is over there, not the copying, the mimicking, the mocking, the pretending, the acting, the stealing other people's intellectual property and content. No, I belong over there. And I was supposed to go over there and not ignore the messages and the emails, but I did. My ego, my pride. But now I see I made a mistake. There's still time to apologize and admit your flaws and mistakes because that is honorable and respectable. The problem in lies where you allow these devils to stay in your head, continue to whisper in your ear, continue to influence you to make poor choices. Allow them to hold on to you and keep you stuck and interfere and stay in the middle of you knowing what you're supposed to do. You were supposed to been done, but you are comfortable allowing these devils to play the games that they play because they are highly manipulative. And opposed to you moving out of a pit of snakes, you stay there because you believe you're a snake charmer. And instead of you just moving on and accepting the reality for what it is, now you find yourself day after day explaining away the actions, atrocities, and weak-minded, cowardly, evil deeds of those who manipulated you, beguiled you, tricked you, pulled you off course. Instead of you not explaining away and making excuses every single day now, excuses for the same devils and secret competitors, people with ulterior motives, and how at the core they're really a good person. Do you have time to waste your time, your energy, and your life waiting for these people to accept the reality that they spit in the face of their own spirit team and the divine? Do you have time to waste allowing them to drag you down with them? Do you have time to waste when the divine been told you to step up because work needs to get done and it needed to get done yesterday? But because of energies like yourself who ignore their calling and soul's purpose, their divine path, and their spiritual team and beloved angels and ancestors, the divine has to reroute, rearrange, things get delayed. So when the rest of my beautiful soul tribe asks the question, is there ever a moment that we get to relax and let our hair down and begin to experience love and all the positive things that the divine, the blessings that the divine laid out for us? The question is yes. But until energies like these energies over here stop making the wrong choices and going the wrong way and causing the universe and the divine, the cosmos, to have to reroute, rearrange because they were up next and they failed to see things from a different perspective, higher perspective, proper perspective, and answer the call properly and take their leap of faith and release the energies and groups and peoples that no longer serve them. Listen, if there's any group, family, people, friends, associates that is dragging you down or keeping you from your higher calling, it requires discipline and sacrifice to release, drop, let go, and move beyond without reservation, hesitation, fear, or being stuck in your head. And even if there's sadness, even if there's melancholy, I believe that's the word, even if there's something that touches your heart, like, wow, I'm very sad to have to walk away from these family members, friends, associates, cousins, mother figures, parental figures, children, or whatever, whoever it is that don't serve your highest purpose, who betrayed you intentionally, whoever it is who was willing to sacrifice your soul's purpose and your divine path, you must release them. Let me put it to you this way. I'll go further. In order for you to receive divine blessings, a divine calling, step into your divine calling and receive a high level soul contract or a divine union put together from the divine, your beloved angels and ancestors, you must make the tough choices. You must sacrifice something or some things. You must. That's a part of taking your leap of faith and going to the next level. It requires discipline, faith, trust, and sacrifice every time. And that most likely always include releasing, dropping, and letting go. People, places, things, energies, ideas that do not serve you anymore and that you cannot bring with you. Can you accept that? Can you just cut through the chase? Look yourself in the mirror, get to the point where you accept this and converse with yourself on this and get it through your head. Let the light bulb go off. It requires discipline and sacrifice, letting go and moving on, taking your leap of faith without seeing the bigger picture, without knowing everything that's going to play out. Because that's what taking a leap of faith is all about. Not knowing how everything is going to play out. But by taking your leap of faith, you are creating and building and structuring a bond with your angels and spirit team. You are creating, structuring, and building a strong connection and bond of faith and trust, honor, and respect with your beloved angels, your beloved ancestors, your spirit team, your guides. That is what's being done. And until you get to that point, you have to understand that you will remain stuck and allow these narcissistic, sociopathic devils to drag you down to force you to become a fallen angel. Now, if you're okay with that, then that's the choice you make. You're okay with that. But that's the reality. It's either one or the other. You take your leap of faith with courage. You stop bullshitting. You accept reality for what it is. Or you wallow in the mud, or you wallow in the pit of snakes of those who are telling you whatever you want to hear, pulling on your heartstring, only wanting to use you for your resources, only want to impregnate you and trap you in bad contracts. The divine is saying, yo, you belong over here to bring in future star seeds and earth angels. But no, you want to be entrapped with these narcissistic devils and bring in future narcissistic sociopaths, psychopaths, devil seeds. Is that what you really want to do? That's what you want your legacy to be? You decide.